Morning, Donny Walk here. So I just want to show you on 365s and 372s how I fixed the crankcase dog bolts, the inside ones in the crankcase, when they're broken. I got a couple different ways. Check it out. So on these, when your bolt hole here gets broken or bolt breaks off, you can get the bolt out, bonus. And if this chunk breaks off, now you really got nothing to mount it to. The bottom one's normally good. I had a broken bolt in there, got it out. Now I'm going to put a nut and bolt in the bottom, but the top, two ways to fix it. First, on these newer ones, the crankcase bolt right here, take it out. These have a plastic dowel in them, these newer cases, versus the steel ones, so you can drill through. So what I do is I get a snap-on drill bit here, 3/16 by 12 inches, okay? Take the drill bit, drill through the dog or the case bolt, right through to the bolt where the dog was bolted. You can get right through there. Keep it in line, go for it, okay? Then you take a 288 carburetor bolt. You go from this end with the head of the bolt, get it right through to bolt your dog back on. Once the bolt's through, you notice it's quite long. So take a zip saw and cut a bit of the thread off and put a 5mm nut on it. I put two 5mm lock nuts on it, so it's held good there. Then a nut and bolt in the bottom. A 5mm bolt with a 5mm nut behind it. The other way to do it, if you got the old cases, have that steel dowel. They're hard to drill through, obviously. So what I do is I take a preset of a harvester chain and I bend it sideways. Now I put the dog, I weld it to the dog here. I put the dog on, then I bolt it to the bottom muffler bolt. So now you got a top bolt again. So you just got to keep it tight. Weld that to the dog. Now use your bottom bracket of the muffler bolt to hold the dog on. Then put the nut and bolt through the bottom. Those are the two ways to fix the dog on a damaged case on a 365 and 372. Works really well. Me and my partner Sam Morrison came up with it a bunch of years ago. So yeah, long drill bit, 3/16 by 12 inch. Away you go. Another thing I had, customer brought me in a saw with aftermarket crankshaft, aftermarket cylinder, X-Torque model. Sucking air like crazy. The guy actually ground a bit of the case down in here to allow for the X-Torque cylinder to fit down on this old style case. The new style cases are deeper in your transfers in the bottom, lower transfers, and then the X-Torques fit on okay. But if you're putting an X-Torque cylinder on an old style case, you need to actually take and trim the bottom of the cylinder here, these legs, to fit it down on there. You can see when you put it on there, there'd be an air gap. So that's why it was sucking air. And he also didn't have a gasket in there, so he done a couple things wrong. I don't like aftermarket stuff. I've told you that before. I've had a buddy of mine bought like 4 of these crankshafts off the internet. Every one of them were out. Like it was like on the end play of the crankshaft, the run out on the PTO side was like, 20-30 thou. It would have vibrated like crazy and shook his bearings apart and his hands. Not a good way to go. OEM stuff's the only way to go. And especially for smoothness if you want to get anti-vibration. So yeah, that's the dog fix. Drill through the crankcase bolt side all the way through, 288 carb bolt with some lock nuts. It'll save you hundreds of dollars in cases, get you by. Keep sawing them, sticking the ash, rubbing the road. Check the walkersawshop.com online store. Have a great week. It's a beautiful day here today, 25 degrees Celsius. Great end of the summer. Tomorrow's the last day of summer here. So, hope you had a good summer. Enjoy the fall. All these nice leaves are going to come out. Have a good week.